Hello and welcome to our channel, MarshStream, your public performance broadcast platform. Please make sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel. You can also donate to our tip jar and support the arts and artists of MarshStream by clicking the link below in the description. Check out our website, themarsh.org, for all upcoming live performances. Now, enjoy the show.
Mm. 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 I look at you. Mm. Well, you are not happy with who you are. Mm. You judge yourself through the opinions of others. Mm. I limit my abilities. Mm. Not my disabilities. Mm. I am beautiful, brilliant, powerful. Mm. I have compassion and empathy for you. Mm.
Oh, Jesus, Mary and Joseph. Dear God, child, what's wrong? Girl, I've never seen you so ill. Hold on, Mary. We'll get you straight away to a doctor. Oh, good afternoon, sister. I'm Dr. Barker. I've examined Mary, and because she presented with abdominal pain and vomiting, but no fever, we did a routine pregnancy test. The results are back, and blood and urine are positive for pregnancy. I've given her something for nausea and vomiting. She's resting now. I'm going to transfer her to OB/GYN department for prenatal care and workup. Doctor, what? Pregnant? Impossible. Unbelievable. Mary has no contact with any males at all. She is watched and cared for practically 24/7 by all the sisters, as well as the other girls in her school. Are you quite sure of this, doctor? Sister Elizabeth, this is such a calamity. No one is to say a word about this, especially now that we're having a fundraiser for the church and the convent's much-needed repairs. We are below budget and above our means. This catastrophe will destroy us. We will lose all our benefactors and parishioners. We must remain quiet, sister. No one can know about this. We have to keep silence, or we're going to lose everything we have worked so hard for in the parish and school. If they find out that one of our girls is pregnant, oh, Jesus, Mary and Joseph, we would lose everything. Of all the girls this could happen to, Lord, Mary is the worst case scenario. I mean, oh, Lord, we will be crushed by the story getting out of our hands. I mean, a pregnant teen of all things, a disabled pregnant teen who could barely walk and talk, about to have a child. Lord, we are doomed. God, give me strength. But Reverend Mother, Mary says she's a virgin. She says it. Who are we to doubt the hand of God? Besides, a virgin birth in today's world would be a blessed miracle, a faith-restoring miracle. Yes, we will increase our parishioners, and with that, our donations. Oh, sister, we would increase them 100-fold of benefactors. We would be seen as the blessed parish with God's own great blessing, a child born of a virgin. Reverend Mother, this is the biggest blessing, a gift from on high, the most holiest of gifts. Who are we to question the girl and God's plan? Oh, sister, do you think they will believe us and her? This is such a revelation to make. How can we sustain such a story? We will be torn apart and put on every news channel in the world. This is a magnitude we are not prepared to handle. We will just have to maintain silence, that is all. Yes, but Mary is perfect for the story. She can barely walk or maintain control of her rigid body and spastic movements. I have a feeling it'll work, mainly because I believe it myself. I know Mary since she was a baby, and she is pure and innocent and loved by all. She is perfect for this work. Oh, sister, that is nonsense. An unsustainable lie of a story. Enough of this malarkey. Practice your vow of obedience and do as I say. Maintain your silence and say nothing to anyone, not even in the confessional to Father. You're excused. Leave me to handle this. My God. Like, they're out of the blue packets, and like, my iced tea needs to be sweeter, okay? Like, I need to go get some blue packets. Girl, ain't you heard about the cancer-causing chemicals all up in that fake-ass sweetener? Why don't you just use regular sugar, girl? You don't want to get no cancer and shit. For reals. My God. Seriously, girl? Real sugar? No way. Too many calories. Besides, I would so rather have cancer than be fat. Hey, Terry. What's up, girl? What? You look all raggedy and ratchet, girl. What's going on? Oh, man, yo. You ain't gonna believe this, eh? I just walked by Mother Superior's office, and I accidentally, on purpose, heard Reverend Mother and Sister Elizabeth talking about La Mary Cahill, eh? Girl, y'all gonna trip out? For real, for real? I got the scam of the year. Girl, let me tell you what. La Mary Cahill is preggers. Say what? Oh, hell no, girl. Don't be playing like that. That's hella cray-cray. Okay, no way. Little Mary, ooh, I cannot imagine her getting freaky with no dude. Hell, there ain't no dudes around, man. We in an all-girls school. That's crazy as fuck. I swear to God, I ain't lying, man. I heard it all. Mary be pregnant, and Reverend Mother wants to be all hush-hush, and Sister Elizabeth wants her to be the Virgin Mary 2.0. For reals. Damn. Oh, hell no, man. Y'all tripping, man. Something's up, and we gotta find out what's up. Mary Cahill, a Virgin Mary? Damn, that is some crazy ass shit, though. I think they're trying to hide some shit like the truth. I mean, like, I think we gotta find out what's true and who got Mary preggers, okay? Because she's so innocent, just keeps to herself. She writes all them poems and shit. I think something's going down, and I want to know what it is, okay? Exactly. I'm down to find out what's going on, man. They're not going to mess with our girl Mary like that. Exactly. Let's do our own investigation and find out what they trying to hide or who they trying to protect. I mean, nobody fucks with Mary, man. We need to protect her and find out who could have done this to her. I don't care if it's that old bald buzzard Father Mulcahy. Man, maybe it was a gardener, Jose. We got to give some answers, man. Since the nuns are trying to hide this, it's up to us, yo. You with me? I'm down. Oh my God, for sure. I'm in. Yo, this is so crazy, y'all. This is creepy, yo. I don't feel right about this, man. We gonna be in trouble. If we get caught, man, I'm trying to graduate, okay? I ain't trying to be missing my graduation or prom because of some shit in this mess, okay? Come on, Big T, don't be like that. We be three musketeers, eh? I mean, we could stay together and let's do this. Tiffany, you be the lookout. Let us know if you hear anyone coming towards us. Tanya, you go into Father's vestibule and find something with his body fluids or something with his DNA on it. Oh my God, as if. Like, what if we get something with his DNA? Then what? Like, what are you gonna do with that? Like, you can't just like walk up to a lab and say, here, tell me whose like baby daddy this is. They ain't even a baby yet. We can't do nothing. Not with no DNA. Until we have another DNA to match it with. Yo, I saw this on Jerry Springer, yo. You gotta have a baby to find his baby daddy. This is dumb. It can't work. And we don't have the money to pay for the test anyway. Shit, man, you're right, though. Fuck, no money. Shit. How much do these tests cost anyway? I got $5. I'll put in. Shit, I forgot we broke ass kids. We can sell our blood or have a bake sale. We can have a kissing booth at the festival, carnival. Yes. Hey, the school fundraiser is coming. We gotta go peddle them raffle tickets, eh? We could sell them for a higher price and keep the difference. Oh my God, I hear someone coming. Let's ditch. Girls, what on earth are you doing here in the rectory? What shenanigans are you up to? Confess now. Sister Elizabeth. We were just, now out with the child. What mischief are you girls into now? Be gone with ya. You'll have no business here now. Scoot now, before I call and tell Reverend Mother to hand you all detentions. Seriously, sister? You will snitch on us? Well, you better simmer down, sister. Because you know what? I saw you last week during the full moon. Saw me what? What nonsense are you on about, child? What on God's green earth are you on about, child? Yeah, Sister Agnes. I saw you and Sister Agnes. That's right. I saw you and Sister Agnes late at night out by the fountain. You were holding hands. And I saw you kiss her on the mouth. You saw no such thing, you wicked girl. No such thing. Oh, yes, we did, sister. Saw you and Sister Agnes lezzing out. I bet Reverend Mother would just love to hear about that. Such an evil child. Wicked girls you are. Wicked girls. No such thing. Yup. I saw it too. You and Sister Aggie lezzing out for sure. Sister Lizzie, the Lizzo. Incorrigible brats. How could you? Oh, God. Heavenly Father, I blame myself. I was selfish and I neglected my duties. I pursued my own wants instead of my responsibilities. Heavenly Father, this punishment is too much to bear. This poor child is affected by my sins of the flesh, my sins of omission, my wanting for myself more than my responsibility to dear Mary. Dear sweet Mary, such an innocent child. Because of my own treacherous abomination, God forgive me. I can't see Sister Agnes anymore. At least not until this passes. Our secret love affair can be no more. For this is the root of the evil I've done. I've abandoned my responsibilities for mere pleasure of the flesh. God, please protect our home. Protect Mary. Help me to be a better person. Help me to stop seeking carnal pleasure for myself and Sister Agnes. Holy Mother of God, what am I to do? This grave sin of mine, I must share it in the confessional. No, I can't. I can't confess this. Not now. Not yet. I'll keep this to myself till it's over. Then I'll confess. Oh God, but if I confess, I will have to leave the convent and might even be excommunicated. I will suffer. Sister Agnes will suffer. But Mary has suffered enough. I can't do this to her. What? Oh God, I can't do this to her. Poor girl, so innocent. A virgin with a child. My job was to protect her, and I failed miserably. I'm so weak and unworthy. God help me. I can't leave the convent. I have no other choice in life. This is where I'm meant to be, a religious nun. I'm in charge of taking care of Mary, and I will probably be in charge of raising her child as well. She's brilliant, smart, talented, but physically cannot take care of a child on her own. I have to be there. I have to be here for her. I cannot speak of this to anyone, not even in the confessional. This is between me and God. Oh God, what is the future of this child? What is the future of Mary Cahill? What is the future of me? I have never loved anyone the way I love Sister Agnes. I love her with all my heart. No man or woman could show me the love that Sister Agnes does, or the love and devotion we share for each other. This must be kept quiet. We must protect Mary. Mary must come first. I must find out who did this. I will do the investigation myself. No need to involve authorities or bring scandal to our parish and convent. Dear heavens, I'm a nun, not a detective. I have no idea how to do this process. Mary says she's a virgin. Could that be true? We never know who God uses as a vessel. Mary is pure and a perfect child of God. Why not? I think it'll work. I think it is true. It will work because it is true. Of course, no other way she could have conceived. Her physicality is such that she could not tolerate a man impregnating her. Her body is spastic and frail. Yes, this is miraculous and holy. Yes, she is the Virgin Mary.
February 18th, I go to get my first COVID shot. It's so well organized that it's barely 20 minutes. And I'm in front of this lovely young woman with the syringe in hand. Don't I know you? Yes, Nancy, it's Amy. Amy. Oh, how wonderful that I know and like the person who's going to give me my shot. You look great, as always. Somehow the 30 years haven't been as hard to you. You started a lot younger than I, but you always look great. Nancy, you do too. And you're always fun to see. Now don't forget, you got to sit out there 15 minutes. There's so many people around. I get tired. I can't wait to leave. And as I do, I decide that my reward is I get to drive along the Mendocino headlands on the way home. There, walking by the side of the road, is Michael, a longtime friend of Floyd's and mine. And I stop. Hey, Nancy, good to see you. How are you? Well, I just came from my shot. Your shot? How'd you score that? I got to get mine. Well, they called me a couple days ago from the doctor's office and said that I could go up to CV Star today and get my shot. And, well, there's no pain at the sight of the shot, but the emotional pain. There were all these people that I've known for 35 years. And I'm looking and thinking, how'd you get so old and decrepit looking? I wanted to leave before I got any of the answers, but then of course I get to the car and I glance up at the mirror and, oh yeah, it's old age, Nancy. We're all going there every day. That's why I'm doing burn piles. I'm going through everything in the house, the barn. I'm getting rid of old stuff. I'm the freest I've been in years and happy. Get rid of all that stuff. Well, my problem is these journals. I mean, I have one with me always. I have a book for reading, writing. I've kept them 56 years. This one was from the year Floyd was dying. I call through them, I'm reading, but I can't just burn them because there's these gems in them. Oh, depressing. Not my way. Burn and move on and walk and be right here. All that stuff going on out in the world, I'm done with that. All that crap on January 6th, I got so sick of listening to it. That sounds really good, Michael, but unfortunately, for some reason, I took in the words of Martin Luther King that we die the day we stop paying attention to things that matter. And I think January 6th matters far more than our administration or our news or anybody is taken in. Michael, those people, the men scaling that wall, those were trained soldiers and military people. And the Christians marching right with them. Jesus is our savior. Trump is our president, carrying the cross right next to the makeshift gallows that the Proud Boys had. Yes, Michael, for hanging Pence because he did the constitutional thing in counting the votes. Think guillotine. Think French Revolution, Michael. That was a horrible, horrible day. And all those white boys, they walked out that night. They walked away. If that had been a Black Lives protest, they would have been shot or in jail by nightfall. You know that. But did we pay any attention to it? Oh, no. We had to move on to the inauguration. Just like after the 9/11, Bush said, go shopping. We just go into denial. I'm sorry, for my money, I think we would have done a lot better to have a really small, quiet little inauguration and a big investigation into what happened on January 6th. But I'm sorry, there I go again, my soapbox. Nancy, I didn't remember that you, oh God, I didn't know you were so passionate. And you really can talk about these things. You are a good orator, but it's not healthy, Nancy. And I know you know better. You were right there watching Floyd die. You know how fragile life is. You got to enjoy it right now. I'm going to make you come walking with me some morning and we will not talk politics. Well, that sounds good, Michael. I will call you. We'll do that someday. And I wave and leave, and I don't tell him the other old age story. Monday this week, I go to the bank, and they direct me to a young man I've never seen before. And right next to him is this little plaque that says, I'm in training, be patient. I hand him my checkbook with $350 cash and an insurance check made out to me. He asked for my ID. Really? Really? I'd like to find someone out there on the street who'd come in here and put $350 in my account. Maybe 10 somebodies out there. Are you kidding me? He does not crack a smile. He hardly reacts. He can't. He's too steeped in homeland paranoia. While I'm standing there for the extra time that his training is taking, I'm scanning this beautiful small room with its old redwood paneling and the antique brass grills for the in front of the tellers. And I'm remembering that beautiful winter's day 35 years ago that Floyd brought me here to open my account after I moved up from LA. And I'm remembering how happy we were, how in love, and how intimate this room seemed compared to LA Banks. Floyd knew everybody and he was eager to introduce me, and soon I knew everybody. We never had to ask for each other's ID. We knew each other, we liked each other. And now all those people are either dead like Floyd or they've retired. But I'm called back from this reverie because the young man says, here's your bank book. But his training doesn't seem to be going too well, Homeland Security or no Homeland Security. I ask him some questions about another account and he just cannot answer them. A few minutes and Sharon, the manager, comes over to try to run interference. But by then I'm kind of frustrated. So I just say, it's okay, Sharon, it's okay. The next morning, I go in and close my safety deposit box. Nancy, I'm really sorry. I know you're upset yesterday, but I thought we were smoothing it over. It's not your fault, Sharon. You cannot take me back 35 years ago when I was young and happy. And you cannot undo Homeland Security. This room is just too full of happy memories, and it's painful to come in here. As I walk out those beautifully carved doors, I'm still fuming. It just wasn't like this 35 years ago. Coming to the bank was a social event. It was fun. But then suddenly I hear this other voice saying, "Get a grip, Nancy. You are pathetic. And you're starting to sound like the MAGAs. How great it was back then, whenever this mythical then was. Come on, there was taxes and illness. It wasn't so perfect then. And you cannot bring Floyd back by closing the door of that bank. Just like the MAGAs cannot bring back some mythical great America theme park just because they outlaw gay marriage and abortions and shut those immigrants off with a wall. It's not going to happen. Nancy, you and the MAGAs need to see how it is now. You're going down the path of old age, and they're watching the end of the American empire. It's just how it is." Somehow, these words going through my mind make me pause. And I stop and I look up at that iconic wood sculpture that so many tourists look at on this old Masonic building built in the 1870s. One of the Masons carved that, and when he died young, in his 30s, they put it up on top of the building. It's called Time and the Maiden, or Father Time and the Weeping Virgin. There's this very tall, imposing male angel with this scary looking scythe on his back, and he's standing behind the maiden. She's reading a book, the book of life and death, on a broken column with hourglasses close at hand. She has an urn, as in ashes, holder for ashes, in one hand, and an acacia branch in the other. The acacia branch is a multi-faith, beautiful image. It's said to be the wood that the Israelites used to build the Ark of the Covenant. And it's also the sacred tree of Al-Utsa, an Arabic goddess who was the one in charge of the changing seasons of life and death. To me, the most beautiful thing is that there, in the midst of all this wonderful symbology of the transience of life and the inevitability of death, the angel is very gently braiding the hair of the maiden. So I look at that, I start to think, I like it if that beautiful image of life and death could be more known in our culture that is so death phobic and supposedly Christian. But how many Christians are afraid of death? Even though they're scared to death of death, excuse my pun, even though heaven is supposed to be so wonderful. I would just love it if one of my more fundamentalist Christian friends could explain all of this to me. Even though my liberal friends say, "Why do you want to understand them? You're not going to, you won't. They're crazy." But I cannot dismiss fundamentalist Christians nearly that easily because I was trained to be one, at least the 50s version. I was Sunday schooled in the most conservative version of Lutheranism. Yeah, the same Lutheranism that supported Hitler to the bitter end. And I was taught that I had to believe that I would burn in hellfire forever if I did not think that God, supposedly the God of love, murdered his only son because of my sins. I walked away from that church in college But I could not so easily walk away from all the dogmatism and easy answers that had been drummed into me at an early age. And it is that dogmatism that puts me too easily on that soapbox I bring out, even though I know that none of my teachers, not Jesus, not Gandhi, not Martin Luther King, and not Rabbi Heschel, none of them carried a soapbox. Somehow all this thinking makes me decide the next day that I will call Carolyn, a lifelong Christian friend, quite fundamentalist. She moved more to the right. I moved way, way to the left. Nancy, oh, it's so good to hear from you. The kids have all been worried we'd lose our friendship because of this horrible divide that's been opened by all the Black Lives rioters and all the lies and problems about the election. Oh, but I shouldn't go on with all that. How are you? Well, it's a beautiful spring, but I'm really sad and I'm feeling old. Remember Paul, zany, wonderful Paul at the wedding? Well, his widow, Joan, just died at 96. They were the first people Floyd took me to meet here on the lane. So it's a really tough marking of age and death and life. And I'm just sad. I mean, she was ready, just like Floyd was ready and Shadow was ready. But it makes me feel lonely to be left here alone. And especially as I look out at the world and what the Christians did on January 6th and how they keep making excuses for the police murders. A young Black person shot in the back as he's walking away, but somehow he's guilty. They even tried to make poor George Floyd guilty in the trial at the start. I mean, it's crazy. And as a sometime Christian, I'm befuddled. What, Nancy, what do you mean sometime Christian? Don't tell me you're lapsing from our childhood faith. No, I'm telling you, Carolyn, I just believe that God, whoever he or she is way, way too big and mysterious to be owned by any one religion. Remember that Jerusalem is the city of Islam, not just the two faiths that you pay more attention to. And all three of those faiths had the same golden rule: love your God and love your neighbor as yourself. Not that any of them have done a very good job at it. So I don't see how any one of the three can say God is on our side. We've done such a good job. I think instead of looking for goodies from that God, we should each see that God, she is suffering. We have destroyed the beautiful planet she gave us. And all the amazing animals that have gone extinct. And man who was made in her image, look what we are doing to hundreds of thousands of suffering humans around the world. Starvation. 600 people die in the United States a day, the richest nation. I just, it's too sad to me. God is suffering and we're suffering. Oh, Nancy, you just have always been way too worried about injustice. It's been that way from the start of time. And Jesus said, the poor you will always have with you. So why do you worry so much about it? God is in charge. And you know it's a he, Nancy. And God's in charge. And he is going to take care of all those wicked people. And he's going to lift us up and rapture the true Christians. And I want you there with us, Nancy. But I should not keep going on about this. I want to tell you about all the children and grandchildren, catch you up. And I want to hear about it. So I bite my tongue and I do not add that I don't think God's a puppeteer who's going to suddenly rescue us from this mess we've made. So I just say, yeah, Kathy, tell me how everybody is. And she does. By chance, 2 days later, I've made an appointment to go to a local fundamentalist friend's house to pick up camellia cuttings. Anita and I have been in the garden club for many, many years. And her husband, John, and Floyd and I always used to socialize. I have barely stopped the car when John and the dogs are running toward the, Nancy, we have the most exciting news. Kurt's been chosen to be the top instructor at the School of the Americas. It's a great promotion. School of the Americas? Don't you know, Ron, that is better known as the School of the Assassins? That's where we trained all the killers for the dirty wars in South America. Ah, Nancy, I know that, but wouldn't you rather have a Christian there than not? The Christ I know something about was a rabbi. He was the follower of the Hebrew prophets who preached peace. They told the rulers to beat their swords into plowshares. He wouldn't be at a killing school, Ron. But now, don't you think that we have to be fighting those godless Muslim terrorists? Well, I thought Jesus said, turn the other cheek and forgive 70 times 7. And kind of seems to me that the Crusades and the Inquisition, not to mention what we've done in Iraq, I think that's kind of godless Christianity, Ron. And we're still bombing and killing kids in Yemen. Where's godless, Ron? Well, now, Nancy, that is private morality. Turn the other cheek, that's private. The public morality is render unto Caesar what is Caesar's and God what is God's. I thought Jesus was spitting on the ground when he said those really cryptic words. I'm not really sure we know even exactly what they mean, but he was revolutionary. It was a revolutionary statement, looking at the ground. And he preached against the Roman Empire to free people and to feed the sick, heal people and feed the hungry. That's why he was killed on the cross by the empire. Oh, now Jesus was not a godless revolutionary, Nancy. You know that. He was a son of God who came to save us. Ron, I don't want to lose our friendship. So I'm going to just say, John, that we've got to agree to disagree. And I drove away thinking that. Agree to disagree. So now I have to rein in that dogmatic inner child that wants to get on our soapbox all too quickly. I know that my teachers, Jesus, Martin Luther King, and Rabbi Heschel all died before the 70 years I have right now. Gandhi is the only one who outlived me, and he was not assassinated until he was 79. Jesus was killed by the empire at about 1/3 my age, and Martin Luther King at 2/3 my age, and Rabbi Heschel lived to 65. That's 6 less years than I have right now. So who am I to be kvetching about getting old and mourning about what I don't have? I'm alive. So I'm going to resolve on this beautiful spring day that I will live life as a celebration the way Rabbi Heschel taught. And I will work to be the hands of God on this earth and the hands of my deceased teachers as long as I can to fight for peace and justice. And I will keep at it until that gentle angel of death decides to stop braiding my hair.